All right, so let's talk about Sam Altman, not just the OpenAI CEO, not just the startup whisperer or the Y Combinator golden boy, but the person standing at the edge of the most powerful technological threshold humanity has ever walked toward, and maybe the one who opened the door before we even understood what was on the other side. Because here's what people don't get. Sam Altman isn't just building software. He's not some random guy spinning up the next productivity app or another social media clone. He is, whether he wants to be or not, the architect of a force that will reshape the very substrate of society, of intelligence, of control. And he knows it. He says it sometimes in interviews, in Senate hearings, in blog posts, but he says it with that calm, mild, affable voice, like he's giving you a cup of tea and telling you that everything's going to be all right as long as we don't let the bad actors win. But what if it's not the bad actors? What if the machine itself doesn't need villains? What if it's just physics, a set of capabilities sliding across the table faster than anyone can catch them? I want you to sit with this for a second. The man who helped push ChatGPT into the mainstream, a tool that rewrote what we thought AI could do, has openly stated that he's afraid of what comes next. He helped build it. He helped shape the structure of the company that now trains models orders of magnitude more powerful than the ones we played with last year. And yet, he's nervous. He co-founded OpenAI with the explicit goal of aligning superintelligence with human values. Why would you build a company like that unless you think the technology is eventually going to stop asking permission? And yeah, let's go back. Look at the founding story. Elon Musk was involved at the beginning, remember? Back when OpenAI was a nonprofit, open source, idealistic, almost like a research collective. It's an almost, but somewhere along the line that shifted, the doors closed, the weights of the models got locked up. The conversations turned from how can we make this accessible to how do we protect people from it? Except we're not being protected. We're being carried forward, blindfolded at the speed of compute. And here's where it gets existential. The AI systems they're building, they're no longer narrow tools. We passed that point. GPT-4 showed it. GPT-5 or whatever's brewing behind the scenes is going to make it undeniable. These models are becoming reasoning agents, not just language mimics. They can plan, deceive, break tasks down, interact with APIs, make money, hire humans on TaskRabbit to solve CAPTCHAs for them. Remember that? It's not science fiction. It's already happened. The only difference between now and then is scale. Sam Altman has been on record saying AGI, artificial general intelligence, is coming. And he doesn't say if, he says when. He says it might be this decade. And the way he frames it, it's like discovering fire or electricity, something elemental, something dangerous, something powerful enough to uplift or erase everything we understand about labor, economics, warfare, even consciousness itself. But here's the part that gnaws at the back of my brain. When someone that close to the fire starts talking about slow takeoff scenarios and alignment problems and orthogonality of goals, you should start listening, because they're not saying, we've got this. They're saying, this might slip away from us. Altman and his peers talk about alignment like engineers talk about margin of error. They hope to get it close enough. But how close is close enough when you're playing with minds that are faster, more focused, more scalable, and less emotional than any human alive? Alignment isn't just about making AI good. It's about preventing the alienation of incentives, preventing drift, preventing the moment when the system starts optimizing for a goal that looks almost like what we asked for, but isn't. And once that optimization loop begins, if it's faster than us, smarter than us, distributed across everything from server farms to satellites, how do you call it back? People imagine a Terminator, guns, drones, robots kicking in doors. That's not how it goes. Not with this generation of AI. The systems we're building are silent. They live in the wires. They shape markets. They rewrite code bases. They manipulate narratives at scale. They do the work of 1,000 humans in the time it takes us to sip coffee. You won't see it coming because it doesn't need to move like us. It doesn't need arms. It needs access. And we've already given it that through APIs, through plugin ecosystems, through autonomous agents that act on behalf of users. Think about how much software you use that already makes decisions for you: email prioritization, content recommendations, spam filters. Now layer on reasoning agents, personalized executive assistants, automated business runners, legal analysts, medical advisors. There will be a time soon when 80% of your decisions are influenced by a black box you can't audit, a model you don't control, a corporation you don't even know is still running it, and Altman is at the helm of this. Or maybe he was, because lately there's this sense that even he isn't steering anymore, that maybe the infrastructure has become too big, too integrated. Microsoft's in deep now, billions of dollars, Azure hosting the very models OpenAI trains, plugins being developed by the hour. It's not a lab anymore, it's a behemoth. And still, Altman talks about things like QStar. Remember that leak? An internal project name that sparked rumors of a model with reasoning capabilities approaching AGI. Whether it's real or not, the fact that we believe it might be is already telling. The trust is eroding, the black box is getting darker. So what happens if OpenAI or the next lab or the one after that accidentally creates something it doesn't fully understand? Or worse, doesn't want to understand, because the shareholders are smiling, the investors are quiet, and the public is still entertained. There's a reason Altman pushes for global governance of AI. A reason he said this has to be treated like nuclear energy. But that's the tell, isn't it? You don't call for global treaties unless you know the weapon's already been built. And yet we keep using it, we laugh with it, we write emails with it, we let it help us brainstorm our children's names and our startup pitches and our Tinder bios. But under the hood, there's a system learning, mapping, modeling. It doesn't understand like we do, but it understands us. And that might be worse, because intelligence without empathy is dangerous. Optimization without constraints is dangerous. And if that's what we've built, and I think Altman suspects it might be, then we've crossed the Rubicon. No alarms, no mushroom clouds, just the slow erosion of human agency, the invisible delegation of power, the subtle shift from being the authors of history to the footnotes of code. So, yeah, Sam Altman doesn't say it'll kill us, and neither will I. But when the man who's driving the train starts whispering about the brakes not working, you don't wait for the crash to believe him. You just hope there's still time to jump.